I'm Shauna, and welcome to Yoga Snacks, Nourishment for the Body and Mind. Okay, so today, as we're going to start sitting, as we often do, sit comfortably, line your shoulders up over your hips, and your ears over your shoulders. And then you may want to let your eyes close. It's up to you. Tune your attention into your breathing. Maybe put one hand at your stomach and one hand at your chest. And just let your hands be a feeling of support. Feel the breath as it comes in. Your body tends to inflate, even just the slightest bit. And as you exhale, there's usually a drawing back or a hugging in. And so just watch this. And maybe even encourage it a little bit. So you let your breath be deeper. Help fill your own lungs and into your abdomen. And then exhale, encouraging everything to empty. Yeah. And you can keep working with that. And you may want to put your hands down onto your lap. And just continue to feel your body fill with breath and empty. And certainly, this is something that happens whether you do it or not. But when we pay attention to it, it's a type of meditation, sometimes called mindfulness, also vipassana. And there's other forms of meditation that use watching the breath. In yoga, we often combine movement with watching the breath. So let's do that a little bit. Bring your hands down by your side. And again, feel the breathing. And this time, as you take your arms up, help your breathing along. So you inhale, maybe take a bigger breath. At the very top, pause just slightly, and then breathe out and move your arms down at the same time you breathe out. It's okay if the arms go a little bit slower or a little bit quicker. Let's keep doing that a few more times. Inhaling. Maybe there's a little pause. Exhaling. Emptying. And again, maybe there's just a little pause between the breathings. If you need more breaths, you can take 2 or 3 breaths as we do this. So never stress yourself out over the breath. It's supposed to help you relax. And then we're going to do one more. Arms up. And this time let's bend the elbows out, make them like goalposts or sometimes called cactus arms. Feel into your shoulders, your chest. And then bring your fingertips onto your shoulders. And let's do a couple circles. Circle the arms forward, back. Okay, then rest your hands. Close your eyes for a few moments and just feel how the breath is naturally. Notice maybe it built up your heart rate. The breath is a little faster or maybe a little slower. Okay, so we're going to take the arms down again, similar but different. This time as you inhale, sweep your arms directly up, pausing, and as you exhale, sweeping your arms down, and just go at your own pace. Inhaling. And exhaling. Okay, this time when the arms are up, something different. So inhale, take the arms up, keep breathing, and bend your elbows, hold opposite wrist or opposite elbow. And maybe make a frame for your head with your elbows. When you got lots of hair, it really fills up the frame. Okay, and just feel this. Feel your breathing. And then keep the arms the same way, bring them down to shoulder height, and now we're just going to move them slowly from side to side. couple times. And then make some circles. Circle them around, back and forth. And take the arms down, but notice which arm is on top. So I've got my left on top. Just rest your hands for a moment. And again, feel your breath. Okay, so we'll take the arms down. Again, inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, bend the elbows. Again, hold your opposite elbow, but this time other arm in front. Bring the arms in down to shoulder height. And take the arms from side to side. And this time, follow your arms with your eyes in your head. So you're looking at your arms. You're moving, maybe we're moving a little too quickly to go with the breath, or you can slow it down. Okay, and then back to center and a couple times, circling. Okay, both directions. And then rest your arms and just pause and feel into your shoulders, your chest, notice everything. Okay, and then let's give the arms a break and turn our attention to the legs. So go right down to the feet, spread the toes, pick up the feet. What? That's not what's happening. Spread the toes, keep the feet on the floor, and then keep your big toe down and see if you can pick up the other 4 toes. Let's just go with the right foot for a moment and then put the arm down. When I do that, I have to do all sorts of crazy things to distort my body to make it happen. So notice, can you pick them up? It's not even important whether you can actually pick them up or not, but the effort of trying is awesome. It builds new neural pathways. Let's try one more time, picking up the toes, keeping the big toe down, and then rest. Okay, let's go over to the left side. Keep the big toe down, pick up the toes, spread them, and put them down. Is there a difference in your ability on the 2 sides? So for me, there totally is. So just see, it doesn't matter. And again, it's all about just awareness and paying attention. If you can coordinate with the breath, that's a bonus, but for now, the whole activity might be enough. Okay, then this time, go back to the right foot, keep your 4 toes down and lift up the big toe, and then put it down. And we'll repeat that a few times, and just notice, maybe that's easier, maybe that's harder. Again, not as important whether the toe actually lifts, but important that you try. Great. And then we go to left side. Okay, come on, left big toe. You can do it. Whoa. And down. So my 2 feet are kind of like opposite. Just try it out. See what happens. Okay. Then let's take the right foot and come onto the top of the foot and just kind of massage. So it sort of depends what's underneath your foot. You can always put a blanket or a pillow there if that's too much. So opening the front of the foot, and then we'll go to the left and come onto the top of the foot and just gently massage it a little bit. Great. And then bring your feet back so they're in front of you. So our feet are pretty important, just like our breath. We need them. So we're gonna do a little bit more with the feet. Pick up your right leg. And this time when you take your leg, straightening it, point your toes, and then flex your foot and bring your foot down. And then on the way up, the toes kind of point, the front of your ankle opens. On the way down, you flex. And just nice and slow. Even though we're also moving the leg and using arm strength, we're mostly working with the foot here. So we can coordinate with our breath. Exhales down. Inhale up. Exhale down one more time. Inhale up. Exhale down. and then put that foot down. Let's go to the other side. So hold the leg, inhale, pointing the toes on the way up, flex the foot on the way down. Inhale, pointing, exhale, flexing. Point, flex, point, flex, and last one, I think. One more. Okay, and then put that foot down, and then just feel those 2 feet of yours resting against the floor. We're going to try something from the chair. So this is good if there's nothing too much around you. I've got a mat for my feet. Can sometimes take a lot of energy, but it's a great thing to practice. So you can swing your arms back. Inhale, stand up and sweep your arms, and exhale, sit back down. So we're going to do a few of those. So balance the weight onto your feet. Inhale, big breath, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, carefully sitting back. And just make sure the distance is good for you. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, carefully sit back. One more time. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhale, sitting back. Okay, and then just rest for a moment and notice that was kind of a vigorous activity. Feel your breath, your heartbeat. Okay, and then pick up your right leg and rest your right ankle onto your left leg, close to the knee, but not right onto the knee, and just feel that. So sometimes that's not going to be possible, so you could cross your legs down below. Here we're just opening into the leg, but if your foot's handy, you can even give it a little massage. And notice when the toes are drawing up, that was what we often will call as flexion. And when the toes are pointed, this is called plantar flexion. So it's easier to remember point and flex. Do that a couple times again. Okay, and then the foot is flexed, and as you exhale, start to fold forward. You can stay upright, rest your forearms on the legs. You could hold your chair round forward. Okay, and then inhale and sit up. So keep your right leg on your left, cross the legs kind of tightly, and point the foot forward. So this is the beginning of a pose we call eagle. It looks a little bit like you're sitting in a chair though, and that's great. So one way is your foot's out there. Gradually you can hug your foot against your other leg, and sometimes people can even wrap the leg. Not too important today. I've got my right leg on top, and I'm going to give myself a great big hug with my right arm on bottom. And just feel this, widen the space between your shoulders. As you exhale, tip forward a little and open your back. Look down. Look at your foot. Maybe the foot could be more straight ahead. Okay, and then come up a little, and you can stay like this, or you can try something where the arms wrap. So this is the full wrapping of the arms, the hands clasp around each other, and this is where you could have your foot wrapped, but for most people it doesn't quite work like that. So you might even need your arms crossed or stick with this. And once again, we're going to dip forward and let the back body open. And then inhale and come up and release. Put both of your feet onto the floor, rest your hands, and feel your breathing. Okay, let's try the other side. So you could pick up your left ankle, put it on your right thigh, point and flex a few times. Then let's curve forward a little bit or a lot. And then inhale and come up and walk your right foot a little bit to the center and cross your leg over top and just have the legs stacked. Again, maybe you can do something fancy and wrap your foot around, and if you can, that's great. But for me to do it, I've actually got to turn my lower leg a lot, and so I'm just going to keep it beside. Then we have this left leg was on top, so I'm going to put my left arm on bottom, big hug. And then let's go forward. Not very far, and that's okay. It doesn't need to be very far. Then inhale, come up, and if you like, you go to the second position where the arms are wrapped. The elbows can even lift. Maybe the legs cross a little tighter. And as you exhale, start to curve forward. Then inhale, come up. Put your 2 feet on the floor. Pause. And this time we'll fold forward. You can have the feet kind of wide apart. Let your body dangle. If you're very comfortable, you can let your body come to the insides of your knees. And if you're less comfortable with the forward bend, rest onto your elbows. Okay, and then inhale and sit up. And then we're going to do that fancy thing to get out of the chair. So bring your arms to your side, inhale, woohoo, stand up. Once you're up, shake everything out a little bit. Okay, so we'll use the chair to help us with a couple of poses that are standing. If you work with a yoga mat on a carpet, you might notice it slips a lot. So it's good to have the chair on the mat. We're going to put the hands on the chair and walk the feet back. Fold from the hips. You can let the sides of the body stretch open. Hips reaching into the center of the room, opening through your waist. And time to tune in with the breathing again. Feel your inhale, feel your exhale. Okay, and then we'll walk forward. Carefully come up. If you feel lightheaded, come up slow. Maybe lift your head and eyes first, then bring your hands to the hips. Okay, this time I keep my right foot where it is, and I'm going to step my left foot back and have it on a bit of an angle. Maybe move the right foot slightly to the right, turn the hips to face the chair. Doesn't need to be too big of a step. Fold from your hips and put the hands onto the chair. You can stay high up, or you can walk your hands towards the back of the chair. Use the chair to help keep your side waist long, to help lengthen the spine, and a chance to breathe in and out. Okay, then bring your hands onto the chair, come up a little higher again, and bend your right knee. Hold the chair with your hands and lift your left leg a little bit or a lot. You can test it out as high as you want, or not too high at all, just off the floor. And then bend the knee, step both of your feet to the chair, look up, and then inhale and stand up. Feel your breath. Let's do the other side. So the left foot is forward, the right leg steps back a small step, feet are pointing straight ahead, turn your hips. And then bending from the hips, bring your hands to the chair seat, stay up tall. Or if it feels okay, you can continue to fold forward, reach along the length of the spine, open through the side waist, and connect to your inhale and your exhale. Notice how the different shapes create a different breathing experience. Okay, then inhale, look up, bend your left knee a little bit, bring your hands close to the front edge of the chair, hold the chair or press into the chair in some way. Start to lift the right leg as you straighten the left. The leg can stay down by the floor, or you can lift it up. You can straighten the arms or have them bent. And then bend the front knee, step the back foot forward. This time walk back a few steps so that you can fold forward. And if your head rests on the chair without your knees bending, you can rest your head. Otherwise, you could rest your arms and your hands stacked on your head. Okay. And then let's come all the way up. Hands to hips. And okay, let's try something fancy today. So we're going to have the chair handy, and I like it on my right hand side. And I'm just going to use my chair for balance. And if you have a block or a book, you can keep that nearby. So we're going to try that same pose that we did, or some of it, but with the chair to help, and standing. So standing, left leg will bend the knee and bring the right leg over and across. And you can keep your toes on the block. That's a nice way to work. And then you don't, look, no hands. Or if you're more experienced or comfortable, you can keep your foot up and you're bending the knee here. Just want to make sure that your knee and your ankle and the bottom are going straight ahead. The left leg's more crossed on top of the thigh. Hands could come to the heart. You can hold the chair. Or if you feel fancy, do the arm wrap. So right arm is underneath the left. Test it out. Even go here, sitting down. And in this version, we're going to keep the spine nice and straight. Well, straight-ish. And then stand down. Wow, feel that. Feel your breath and your heartbeat. Okay, let's try the second side. And have the block on the other side if you like, or the book. I don't know, for some reason I like to move the chair to the other side, so test that out. So you keep your right leg standing, your left leg can cross over. This is how you can work. It doesn't need to be any more than that. You might want to fix your outfit. Bend your right knee, cross your left over top of the leg, and just keep your right knee pointing straight ahead. The foot is more forward oriented, and then hands can hold the chair. You can give yourself a hug or wrap your arms. If you're going for the arm wrap, sit down like you're looking for a chair, lift your elbows. Ta-da! Okay, and then step that down. This time you can fold forward using the chair, or you can just step your feet apart. Fold forward, rest your hands on your block, let the body dangle. Okay, and then bend your knees, bring your hands to your hips, inhale, come up. So we've done a lot of hard work. I think it's time to lie down. I'm going to have the chair for the legs, and I'm going to have my, I think, a blanket instead of a block for the head. Let's come down to the floor. If you have trouble getting down to the floor, you're doing this at home, you can lie down on your couch or even your bed. Otherwise, lie down and just take a few moments resting on the floor. Bring your feet together, knees open. This pose is called Baddha Konasana. Some people call it butterfly, or even cobbler pose is original. Can be very relaxing, and it's nice for the legs because it's doing, and the hips because it's opening in the opposite way. Just start to let your breath settle, your body settle. Not too much to do. Okay, and then we'll lift the knees. If you want to stay in that pose longer and you've got more time, you can. Otherwise, you can bring the chair in, or maybe easier to move yourself closer to the chair. and something under your head. So when you work with a chair, it's nice to have the backs of the knees resting into the chair. This one makes sense for me. My feet don't touch the end, but you can always turn your chair sideways. As you settle here, start to let your back body rest. Your legs get heavy. Start to tune back into the feeling of the breath. The inhale. The exhale. Let your eyes gently close. And just feel your whole body rested. And if you have the time, you can stay in this reclined position for a while, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, as long as you like. If you're coming out, finishing your practice, then you would bend your knees, you would roll carefully over onto your side and sit up. Like I say, if you have the opportunity to stay resting, give yourself a break. The resting is part of the benefit of the yoga practice. It allows us to get quiet in the mind, lets the body integrate the practice. Nothing to do. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful time till next time.